There is a professor at Ferris State University that is in Michigan. His name is Barry Mehler, as you see him there with his mask or his space helmet on. He's been suspended after he put out a questionable video that has since gone viral. He sent out a 14-minute video to his new students to outline the syllabus and talk about the course rules, everything that they need to do. But he also had some colorful language when he was talking about COVID rules and maybe potentially getting infected. Let's watch this.
And there we go. So let me take this off. I don't know whether you people have noticed, but it's dangerous to breathe the air. Many of your experts are advising wearing masks because there's a deadly virus spreading around the planet. Your civilization is collapsing and life on your planet is going extinct. Maybe you just didn't notice, but the level of suffering on this planet is going through the roof. I want to introduce myself before we actually meet F2F, as we say these days, which everybody knows means to fuck, which really means that we're all. When you see me next week, I'll be wearing this helmet. This helmet is actually $300. It's got HEPA filters all around it, so that all the air that comes in, that I'm breathing, comes in through the HEPA filters.
Oh, he'll be using the HEPA filters. Now, administrators said that he's gone too far. I don't know if you can judge that for yourself. There was many instances of cursing there. I believe you would have noticed it there. But first of all, Jackson, I know you were chomping at the bit for this, so I want to get your reaction to that before we talk about what they then did with him because of.
Oh man, and y'all didn't even see the best part of the video.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
Okay. Yeah, well, y'all about to see it because that's my favorite part of the video. But this is a man who has just reached his limit. He's at the end of his career. He's got nothing to lose at this point, and he just doesn't care. And that's what I got from this. He kind of maybe he had one too many shots that morning, and he was just a little too confident. He was like, "I'm just gonna do what I want."
You'll never forget this professor, that's for sure. There's some professors you just don't forget, and he made a first impression that cannot be lifted. So by the way, he was, now at the end of the whole thing, he figured he was joking about what he sees as an actual serious issue. So let's look at some of the things that he did actually say, or his feelings about the whole COVID thing as well. He said, the only difference is I'm gonna be 75 years old in March, and COVID has already killed 1 in every 100 Americans over the age of 60. In other words, whatever you think of the risk of COVID, I live in a very different world. My risk is much greater than yours. He said that the students' first assignment would be to describe how the last 2 years were for them. He said that in the past, students said that they missed their grandparents at Christmas because they didn't want to expose grandma and grandpa to a disease that could kill them. And he also said then, listen up folks, I'm old enough to be your grandpa. And you people are vectors of disease to me. So when I look out into the classroom with 50 students, I see 50 selfish kids who don't give a S about whether grandpa lives or dies. And if you wouldn't expose your grandpa to a possible infection with COVID, then stay the F away from me. If you don't give a S about whether grandpa lives or dies, by all means, come to class. So well, your decision in doing that is, I guess, is based off whether or not you want to give grandpa COVID. So lastly, he went on to joke that if they want to complain to the dean, they can also then go F themselves again. Watch.
I may have fucked up my life flatter than hammered, but I stand before you today beholden to no human cocksucker and working a paying union job, and no limber of an administrator is going to tell me how to teach my classes because I'm a tenured professor. So if you want to go complain to your dean, you go ahead. I'm retiring at the end of this year, and I couldn't give a flying any longer. You people are just vectors of disease to me, and I don't want to be anywhere near you. So keep your distance. If you want to talk to me, come to my Zoom. So what you really want to know is, how the am I going to get out of this course alive and with an A? That is the real question. How does this whole professor grade? Well, let me set your mind at ease about that. You don't have a thing to worry about because there's absolutely nothing you can do.
And he went off and then on and then back off. Again, let's jump down the graph 6, you guys, because he was suspended for this. He thought he was tenured, it would all work out for him. But the dean did say he was very appalled by this and suspensions for Professor Mehler. So by the way, here's one of his students, they were sticking up for him. He said, as his student that was in this class that this syllabus is from, I support you, Professor Mehler, and I'm sorry that the school had to bring you down. Makes me ashamed. I want to transfer out of Ferris State sometimes. Wow. Also, another said that it's just his way of keeping people's attention. Aaron Wisner, a former Ferris State student who once had him as a professor, told the outlet that he tries to inject humor into his classes. He has his own way of teaching, and he's vulgar about it, really. But ultimately, it's his way of keeping everyone's attention. Nice.
I'm reading in the comments, somebody said, make this man president. Right. We did had Trump already, so I don't think it would be a stretch and too far-fetched. But nah, yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. If I was his student, that would have been, I mean, it was the funniest thing I've seen all year just watching it on Twitter for me personally. But if I was in his class, that he would definitely be my favorite professor of all time, even if I never saw him again, because like you said, you're never gonna forget him.
I mean, look at this. Like his framing is perfect. He's at the bottom of the shot. It looks really small. He looks like a ranting old man, which I think he wanted to come off as. It worked out for me. Sign me up, Professor. We'll take your class next semester, even though I'm not gonna go to Michigan.